get it out of the way early, at least in that sense. Just before we go into this quarterfinal, as Phil Harrison breaks off against Jimmy Croxton and breaks off the golden break as well, does Phil. Got to ask you about the semi-final before it turns out. With you against Tom Cousins, I mean that for me, looking in from the outside, I think two of the best players in the world, both playing really well. Cannot wait for that game. How much are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I just hope I have enough chances. That's the thing. A lot of the time, obviously, you need to play perfect pool against Tom. Hopefully, my break is the same as that match, and his break was the same as Christoph's, and I might have half a chance. So, yeah, just got to take one frame at a time, see how it goes, and then see what happens.
Well, best of luck for that one, mate. Really looking forward to it. Jimmy Croxton then at the table against Phil Harrison as we bid farewell to John McAllister, and we bring in Simon Webb and Tony Holgate to bring you through this one. It's Jimmy at the table in frame number 1, and he starts off with a nice plant against Phil Harrison.
Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, really looking forward to this one. The tournament rolls on, races to 12, 70 minutes, and we're straight back underway, and we're going to do it all again. We know the top half of the draw, time to find out the bottom. And it's very easy on paper to look at this quarter-final matchup here and go, well, Phil Harrison's the big favourite. You know, he's a legend of the game, former world champion, won just a silly number of titles in his career. You know, he's won 3 times with Ultimate Pool, you know, against Jimmy, he's had some pro titles, yet to win with Ultimate Pool, but hasn't been on the best of form lately. You know, he's down the rankings, but, as Tony gets his headset on, but we commentated on Jimmy on day 1. He is in great form. He is as good as we've seen him play for a while. Really impressed with Jimmy, and he is a major threat, not just for this match, but for the tournament.
Yeah, he's picking out finishes from nowhere. Was the Joker the other day, and he's continued to go on. I think was his last game, was it Liam White, his mate?
Yeah, he got drawn against his mate. Tough draw, that one. Got over the line.
Yeah, it's good to see Jimmy at the latter stages of a big event. Like I say, he's had a pretty bad sort of 18 months, you know, just as we've mentioned before, with his eyes. He had a problem with his eyesight, and he's had a bad problem with his foot, and I mean all sorts of, you know, all these unlucky things that, you know, he's a young bloke. He's not like he's in the twilight of his life, is it? You know what I mean?
I think the issue with his eyes was complicated by his diabetes. He had an issue with his foot where he did some damage to it, and it wouldn't heal properly. But you know, initially it started out like it sounded. That's a lovely cannon.
Great shot.
It sounded like it was just a, you know, he's just done a little injury, he'll be fine in a few weeks. But it was actually really serious, the issue with his foot, to the point where, you know,
he had to wear a special shoe, didn't he?
But it could have been if the infection had got worse, and there was all sorts of things on the table, you know, as drastic as you know, really serious stuff for his.
Yeah.
But luckily, you know, for Jimmy, it's all cleared up, and he's back to good health, and he's back playing some really good stuff as well.
Yeah, nice little finish there from Jimmy Croxton.
Yeah, got himself in a little bit of trouble, 3 out, but dealt with it. And good start for him. One thing you'll say with Jimmy in terms of this match, we know Phil's going to play a level. You know, his base level's high. That's why he's the player he is. You know, we know that Jimmy will be able to match him. He'll play some good stuff, but Jimmy's break's a question mark for me. He didn't break particularly well when we saw him out there a couple of days ago, and I've sort of been talking to him off the table a little bit about it, and he says he's just not feeling confident with his break. At the moment, he's taking a lot off his break, trying to square up that front ball, trying to get the contact right to then try and ramp up the power. It was a little bit timid the other day when he was breaking, and the results weren't great, but he did get enough chances. He needs the break to be on here to get enough chances against a player at Phil's level.
Notice both these players break with their playing cues, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe, you know, if he's having a conversation with you about his break, that he didn't try to maybe sort of use a break cue.
Well, there's a prime example straight away. I think he tried. I think he knows coming in, being, the stage we're at, the player he's playing against, that he does need that break to fire. So he didn't give that everything, but he gave it a little bit more than he was when we saw him on the TV table earlier on. But he lost the cue ball this time, so he didn't square up that front ball. It's exactly what he's trying to avoid doing.
With the old ball, I mean, I broke with my playing cue, but the balls were lighter, so it didn't really impact it. And I did play with a very small. At one point, I played with a 7.2 mil tip, but when I broke with it as well, so there was issues.
Quite ridiculous. I don't know how you did that, but
and to be fair, it was quite a long time before I got a sort of crack underneath the ferrule, and then obviously with the ball change and the rule change and everything else, I did then switch to a break cue and also actually I've gone up to sort of a more of an 8 mil tip now rather than the 7.2s. But I love playing with a small tip because again, but the cue ball was so light, you had to really drill it to move it around the table, and playing on 8-foot tables as well, because when we were at TV stage, it was a bigger table, so you had to really hump it to get it around the table. But now, no way in the world would I want to play with a 7.2 with these.
Well, I think tip sizes in general have got bigger. I think for a period it became very fashionable to have very, very small tips, and
it wasn't a fashion thing.
It was fashionable, and then I think
that cue ball.
I think that's but I think nowadays that tip size has got bigger and bigger now amongst the top players.
So you're saying size matters?
I'm saying size does matter. Whilst we're talking about sizes, Phil going through this very nicely. It was a good layout for him.
Yeah, we saw Phil Harrison dispatch Oli Bale in the TV arena yesterday.
Was crazy scenes out there for that one. It really was chaotic, but it was chaotic from Oli's side. Phil was tried to stay pretty smooth throughout, didn't he? He played a pretty solid match. And he starts nicely here. Lovely reverse clearance from the farmer, and we're all square at 1-1. Long way to go in this match. And of course our final match is Tom Jones versus Declan Brennan. So I'm just going to project, obviously Phil's going to be favourite for this one, as Declan will be favourite for the last one. It's no surprise to see we've got Tom Cousins versus John McAllister in our first semi-final. Two players that have, John's won 2 titles this year, Tom's won 3 this season. If Phil was to come through, he's won 3 Ultimate Pool titles. If it was Declan as well, he's been in 4 finals already this year. He's won a couple of titles with Ultimate. What I'm getting at, it's not a surprise to us in this tournament, in this format, to see the cream really rise. These deeper matches really allowing the cream to rise to the top.
Absolutely, yeah. The longer the distance, you've got the horses for courses, and these players that have been around such a long time and are used to being at the end of the big events, picking up the silverware. They've seen it all, they've done it all, they know how to manage themselves correctly. Not only that, they can get through fatigue, because that's got to set in at some point when you're playing long drawn out games, going out to the outer arena and back into here, and just it lends itself to that. But the one face in the quarterfinal who's come through in sparkling style, Tom Jones.
Been brilliant.
Oh,
he's been
fabulous
brilliant.
last night. Brilliant to watch, and an exciting player as well.
Yeah.
So is he going to be the fly in the ointment for all the, for the establishment?
It was the first thing I said when we came on air this morning. Make no mistakes about it. Tom Jones can win this tournament.
He can. If he plays like he did last night, he can. As can every single one of them. Obviously, we're down to the last 6.
But until this tournament, I wouldn't have said that about Tom. He was always going to be a player I would say could turn up and scare the top players, win a match or two, but I didn't see him have the consistent game to win a tournament. Yeah. Whereas what he showed us yesterday, he
showed a maturity.
A maturity to it, yeah. And he can absolutely win.
he will be up next against Declan Brennan.
Needed to land straight there and didn't, so that's why he's just pulled back. Sorry to cut you off.
That's
Tony.
fine. I like being cut off by you, Simon. It's my favourite things. Declan was very impressive last night, Simon, as well, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. But the difference being, what Declan did yesterday and throughout the tournament so far, we expect of him. That's the sort of difference between, himself and Tom. What Tom did was so impressive, and but Declan's been doing that for a long time. A little bit short from Jimmy, trying to get across a little bit straighter in on this red to right centre. Jimmy will be more aggressive than Phil in this match. It's just something to keep an eye on. We'll see Phil pull back and ask Jimmy to take on finishes at times, like he has here.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning this the other day, saying that Jimmy is relentless. One of his downfalls sometimes is he's just too aggressive. He's landed in a sticky position here, and that's for sure.
Yeah, he might have to pull back. Well, he will have to pull back, but it's early enough that it's not doing any damage. If he pots another 3 balls and then pulls back, he's big second favourite for the frame. Has he left a chance for Phil? Will Phil be aggressive? He's got problems. I don't think Phil will be tempted at all.
No, you won't see Phil do anything rash. Not a chance. Still right at the top of the game, and I'll say again, Phil was playing when I was playing. A little bit younger than me. And having to run around the table, he'd realise he'd used his extension there. Yeah, he's been at the top for many, many years, Phil. Part of that incredible England side back in the day that was just unbeatable at one time, when it was Harrison, you had Gareth Potts in the team,
Mick Hill, Chris Melling,
Jason Twist. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Carl Morris. It was the who's who. Lee Kendall, of course, was skipper.
yeah. And he still is.
Yeah.
He still is.
Yeah, some incredible players, and I'll probably miss some out as well somewhere. Like Darren Appleton.
Yeah, you missed out a good one.
Yeah, my word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was right at the forefront of that team.
That was the team that used to have to turn up and try and get one over on when playing for Ireland.
We used to, because I was the captain, and obviously Bernard Finnegan and Matt Stevenson, both managers at various points. We'd sit down, we said, right, we've got England next, what do we do? Where do we put our team out? And I said, does it really matter?
Yeah.
It doesn't, because all 7 of them, and they had a squad of 9, and the 7 that are going to play, and they drop to their players in a rotation. So where we would like somebody that's not playing very well and they're having a bit of a tough time, you take them out and bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
They just had theirs on the list at the start of the tournament because nobody played badly, so they just said, right, you're not playing against South Africa, you're not playing against France, you're not.
They actually still do that now. They still do the same thing.
Yeah.
The squad isn't quite the same.
No.
We're not, no disrespect meant to the players in that squad, and I'm sure they don't take it, because that list that you've just reeled off is, quite balmy.
Yeah. Yeah, that sort of late 90s through the early part of the 2000s was a phenomenal side.
Because Phil made the ball that he didn't want to make, he kind of kept going a little bit, and he's second favourite now. He's kind of been sucked into opening this up for Jimmy. Jimmy's got a chance here just to mop him up. Oh, just.
He just wriggled in off the jaw. Now a chance for Jimmy. Another wriggler.
Using the jaws. If he can just fall in here, and just let that cue ball turn one turn past, almost use the 8 ball just a touch, straight in bottom right, it's over. But if it sneaks too far, then he's got some work to do. Well, he's actually not come far enough,
no.
But he can control it off the cushion. He's not hampered by the 8 ball, so he's fine.
Well, this red and the black for Jimmy to restore his lead. It's the local man. Just going to go in front once again.
Yeah, solid start. We've used up nearly 14 minutes for the first 3 frames, though. This match could shorten up, but I think we saw that in the opening match as well. I think we'll see a rhythm pick up from these players as they start making the break and runs. As we have a look at Tom, just watching on, just getting himself acclimatised, I guess. Big day for Tom Jones. Really enjoyed my interview with Tom yesterday after he won to book his place in the quarterfinals, but the chat in between as well. Just he is working very hard on his game. He's doing the right things in the practice table, on the practice table, I should say, and he's reaping the rewards. You know, run to the quarterfinals is not a, you know, when you hear the efforts he's been putting in, it's the reward for that hard work.
Took out some big scalps along the way. I mean, I remember watching him right at the very start. Was I came in on Friday. He beat Dylan Leary. That was his opener.
Craig Waddingham.
Craig Waddingham. Yeah, exactly.
Josh Kane.
The list goes on.
Well, 2 for 2, Jimmy. You've completely mishit the first 2 breaks. That was worse than the first one.
Yeah.
Stood there like a teapot because he had made a ball and then was disgusted he got kicked in off, but the break was bad. He'll be the first to admit that if he was here in the commentary box as well. And I'll re-emphasise my point. If he keeps doing that off the break, he's going to have a real tough time beating Phil Harrison. His last break got reverse cleared. Phil's perfectly poised to do the same again here.
It's okay, just pop this yellow into the corner. Hold for the yellow on the side cushion next. Big bag as well.
Do you want to clear the bag, or do you want to use the red to get onto the right side of the cube, the yellow at the bottom?
Not bothered now.
No?
No, black's in the middle, so it's not going to affect.
Yeah, he just had a lot of angle on that. I wasn't sure if he could just drop it in and hold on the shot he's got. That was really nicely played.
Yeah, just dribbles this in with probably a little pinch of right hand side to make sure he gets to the left of red and black.
Yeah. Perfect pattern.
And that is the end of that frame.
Yeah.
And the sequence keeps going.
Yes, can anyone win a frame off their own break? Two. 16 minutes played. I do think the game will speed up. Start seeing a few clearances from the break. See, Phil's done 2, but the 2 frames on Phil's break has been a lot of back and forth in there. If you are just joining us, we have already had our first 2 quarterfinals. And we've seen the #1 player, Tom Cousins, book his place in the semis, where he'll play John McAllister, who's had 2 titles this year, 3 with Ultimate Pool, with the Pairs Cup as well.
I'll tell you what, you don't want to miss that semi later.
Yeah.
Cousins versus McAllister. John was brilliant. Had just a tiny little bit in for a couple of frames in the middle, where he had a little sort of stutter, but he was that far in front. I think it was just a bit of complacency, to be fair, because when Christoph knocked in a couple of finishes later on, he just sort of like got back on the horse and said, right, tees down, back to work, and he just marched over the line. And I think that's going to be an absolutely fabulous encounter with John playing against Tom Cousins later in that semi.
John's got a brilliant game. He can just play at a high level for a long time. He's got such good patterns and control. Not a surprise to see him in the semi-final of a tournament with races to 12. Good break from Phil here. Opportunity for a break clearance to go with his 2 reverse clearances.
Yeah, can Phil finally win a frame off his own break?
Red ball's in play.
Maybe a roll short. Assuming his pattern was left centre. And the one in the middle of the table, get on the right hand side. He's got a little bit too much angle here. Can he just kill it in?
Yeah, his pattern was definitely that. He was play that one down bottom rail. Get rid of these 2 reds. Get on this one on the side rail. Top left. Ball over the bag. Black's dead on the bag anyway, so.
For those listening, I can assure you that Tony is pointed to a good pattern, because he was pointing to the balls as he was saying it.
I did say ball on the rail. And
but for those that can't see Tony, yeah. So he did have too much angle, which is why he's had to play for the one in the middle first, and now he's overdone this one. So that first shot just being a couple of rolls short has led him to this position, which now means I don't think he can hold for the one on the right-hand side, so the pattern has to change here.
I don't think you can dig this deep enough into the left-hand centre to bring that cube over to the ball that's on that cushion. Can he? He might have a go. Oh, that's not going to be good. Oh. Thought that was in off then.
Just to add insult, timekeeper's given him a time foul for hitting the shot with a few seconds to spare as well.
Now, is he looking to either, is he going to go length of the table down this rail, or is he going to try and get this red off the yellow in the middle?
I think it's the second. I think it's off the middle, off the yellow in the middle. Wow, great shot. Gut feel was that going long was a better play, but he's made that look easy, and it wasn't. Great recovery from Phil Harrison, and that will be another frame and get him in front for the first time.
Very nicely done from Phil Harrison. Out of position a couple of times during that visit. Didn't he do well to recover the position?
Yeah, 2 reverse, 1 break, 3-2 in front. Jimmy needs to get his break going. Absolutely a key for Jimmy Croxton in this match. Find a way to get going with his break. Guarantee that's what he's thinking right now.
Rona McCarthy, the world champion. An interested spectator. His buddy will be on next.
Yeah, and of course it was Ronan that Phil played late last night, and he went all the way. 12-11.
I thought he played Christophe Lambert.
Oh, it was Lambert. It was Christophe. You're right. You're right. Who did Phil beat? No, Phil beat Clayton Castaldi, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, apologies for that.
I can tell you now because I actually just saw Ronan out there just in between the last games, and Ronan said because he just watched the Christophe game, and Christophe had beaten him that 11-10, 12-11 game. And he said, "You won't believe what he did in that last frame." I said, "Well, myself and Simon were commentating, so I don't know what happened." He said that Christophe at 11-all cleared up, missed quite an easy black. He said he's left me nothing, so I snookered him. He said he's come out to snooker, left him nothing again. He said I've snooked him again, and he's fluked out the snooker. He goes, and then he said he's complacent. And then he goes and plays like that sort of thing. You know? That's the way it's always the way. I see Christophe couldn't get his break going, but
don't watch the next game.
No,
I always say that.
But well, I think he must have travelled over with Declan, hasn't he? So he's here for as long as Declan is. I'm sure Declan will want to be here right at the end.
Yeah, well, I think Declan would probably like to miss his flight. I expect that's how they normally do it, is have a Sunday evening flight, and if Declan makes the final, he probably ends up missing it.
Yeah.
But just going back to this game, that was the third straight break where Jimmy's completely mishit it. This time he's made a ball, but he's not going to have success if he keeps breaking like that. He needs to find that square on front ball.
Well, he's got a thin cut with this yellow into the corner, but the cue was going to colliding with those three reds in the middle of the table, I'm sure. Don't think he can avoid them. Needs a bit of luck.
If he's on the one nearest the bottom right hand corner, it's perfect. But I'm not sure that he is. So he might have to go right centre and then swing it round, find a tight gap.
Not ideal.
Yeah, overhit that one quite a bit. Oh, what a shot this is.
That's a great pot.
What a great shot that is from Jimmy Croxton.
Well, it's a super finish.
Very, very good finish. Break left a messy layout. He's picked it apart, and this was the key one that got him in line.
Yeah, fabulous shot that by Jimmy. Great pot. He said, "I'm watching you."
I think that's Tom he's talking
It is.
to. Tom Jones, that is.
Yeah. It won't be Phil. Phil will be sat there quite quietly looking at the table.
Jimmy's decided to pop away from the arena. Wait for the referee to rack the balls and then leave the arena. It's a 3-all, but you have to say Jimmy's three breaks have been poor. Keep an eye on that. In a deep, long match, it's hard to survive that. He needs to find a way. Phil's last break was excellent. I feel like he's found the spot.
Ooh, that cue ball. Very low.
How has that stayed up?
Don't know, but Phil's not happy. But if you look at that ball, how is it hanging on the pocket like that? It looks like it's more of it. There's more of it hanging in the pocket than on the table.
Yeah, and do you know what? He can only see one ball on the table, can't he? Can he only see the yellow on the right-hand side?
I think you're right. Yeah, that's not great, is it?
No, he can see. He can see others. He looks like he's going for the one by the red, by the 8 ball rather.
Doesn't look like he gets it because you think the knuckles in the way, but obviously he can. He has a better view than we do.
Oh, he could get to the yellow, but couldn't get to the red, and that's no good.
Well, this is a great chance for Jimmy Croxton here. Phil not making a ball, and he's developed the yellows at the top as well. Sure, would go straight to the left centre first. Just trying to figure out how he's going to remove that yellow ball that's on that right cushion. That's the key ball for this frame. Everything else looks pretty much like it's not going to be a problem for Jimmy. Just wonder if I know it's a bit more of a, I'm not saying Hollywood shot, but he could pot this yellow down into the bottom left-hand corner, screw back past the red ball that's nearest to him, and then play the double back with that yellow. He's guaranteed to get on the yellow in the middle that he would play the double with the yellow into. Because it's not easy to get over onto that side rail to play it down the cushion.
I'd say it's really tough. Yeah, he may well be listening to you here.
Well, I have got Jimmy with an earpiece in at the moment.
Yeah.
No, but it just makes sense because you haven't got to do anything with the keyboard. If you make this double, you win the frame. Or should win the frame.
He's missed the double by
too
a
narrow
margin.
Yeah, it's gone very narrow with that.
But he's done it with control. He's done it early.
You have to approach that early. You can't just leave that till last ball. So that he's done the right thing.
Because look at the mess at the top of the table for that red. So, you know, there is an out here for Phil, but it's far from easy. Whereas if he had left that late and done that, it would be frame over.
Phil will be looking at loss of turn. Or would he try the combo? Can he play the combo, get the cue ball up onto that red at the top of the table?
Beautiful.
Lovely shot.
Absolutely beautiful shot, that.
Just when you thought Jimmy was going to win this frame off the back of Harrison's break-off when he left himself in the bottom corner jaws. Harrison is looking like pulling out a lovely finish. And that's just what he can do, the farmer. Very straight cueing that Phil Harrison has. He doesn't pull the cue back a long way. There's not a lot that could go wrong with his cue action. It's just a very sort of short pull back and shoot. But everything's always hit in the middle. You know, it's flush.
Back in front, 4-3. That was excellent. That was really, really high quality.
Yeah, that combo shot up the top there is a beautiful shot, and also just to get perfect position onto the red on the top cushion there. It's like a little two, well, you know, it's like nearly a 3-in-1, if you like. And that paved the way for Phil Harrison to snatch that frame away from Jimmy Croxton, put himself back in front.
Means we get to examine Jimmy Croxton's break. Can he find the front ball? Can he square it up?
Yeah, has been out of sorts.
Better.
Much better.
Still not perfection, but better.
No, but that's acceptable.
Yeah, you could take them in. You take this every single time. Look at this layout.
The other ones were scuffy.
Well, the other three, you got the cue ball below the right centre pocket, so he's hitting the front ball essentially half ball. Whereas that one, he's got it 3/4 ball on the other side, and hits the middle of the left side cushion at the top end. So much, much better. But there's more to give on it as well.
Oh God, yeah.
He's definitely hitting it firmer than he was when he played on the TV table yesterday.
Of course, Jimmy did beat Christophe Lambert early on in the tournament, didn't he? That was one of our featured matches.
Yeah. Christophe didn't play particularly well in that match, did he? That sent him to the loser's side.
Yeah.
Extension call.
It's got to be a bit careful here, Jimmy. Certainly take that.
He's giving some consideration to taking the readies nearest to top right. Doesn't have to. Can go right centre, left centre, and cue ball will just be moving onto the 8 ball.
Just wants to steer the cue ball. Just a bit of right hand siding, just come through the gap of those two yellows. You can have the black in the middle. Well, no one breaking 3. It's going to be 4 each. And in goes the black.
Back-to-back break clearances from Jimmy Croxton, which is good. That was a much better chance than the first one he took out. His break is warming up, which is good news for Jimmy. The game is still sharp though.
He seems very pleased with himself, Jimmy. Nice smile across the arena. So Phil Harrison now breaking us off. Nothing between these two players. Frame 9, which is a race to 12, of course. About 40 minutes left on the match clock. Well, he's made a black ball, but he also made a red, so he will stay at the table. The black will come back up.
So that's the second time in the match he's made the 8 ball.
Yeah. At least this time he did make another ball as well, so he will stay at the table.
Extension call. in play.
Might have to make that plant. It can be made. He can go, I suppose he can go top left. He might be able to get behind them. Yeah, he's got a little bit of angle to go top left and get behind the top one of the two.
Yeah, I think that's what they'll attempt to do. Knowing Phil, if he can avoid trying to make that plant, the better for Phil. He'd rather get on these two yellows, and there you see what his plan is and where he'd like the cue ball. Doesn't want to be high on it, it wants to be straight or lower. That was pretty good. Obviously wants to take out the other yellow just beneath that one as well next. The yellow that's to the right of the black ball, that he'll want that as his last ball. So obviously is his connector. So these two at the bottom, and then up the table he goes.
Does that 8 ball still go bottom left? Because if it doesn't, that's a slight mistake. Oh,
Yes.
he's fine. He still goes. He's okay.
Get an aircraft carrier through there, Simon.
I disagree with that, but
Do
you know,
you?
you could try.
I'd like you to come out there and prove it. Little drop of the shoulder there from Phil, which means he's perfect.
It is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Now come back just a little bit. He wants to obviously leave himself an angle on that yellow at the top, but not too much. So it's all about giving himself, if he can get dead straight on this yellow, he'd be happy, but if anything, he'd rather be to the left-hand side of it than the right. So, position the key for Harrison here. That looks pretty good indeed, or is it?
It's fine. I think he can kill it in. It's okay.
Dead weight. Yep, you were right. This black for 5-4 to the farmer.
Frame.
Yeah, amazing really to look at Phil's year, having won a couple of titles at the back end, second half of last year. Started this season by making the final, the very first Pro Series event. I don't think he's been in a quarter-final since, which is quite incredible. Almost a full season without making a quarter-final for a player at Phil's level. Quite incredible. But now he's made it. He's got his eyes set on something a lot more than a quarter-final.
Frame. Croxton's break. Trade 5 frames to 4.
Yeah, by contrast, this is also Jimmy's first quarter-final of the year. In fact, he's obviously we've talked about the fact he missed a lot of events. He's actually barely won a match this season on tour with all the health issues that have been going on. So it is good to see him back to some form. That is a fabulous break. That's what he's looking for.
He's certainly upped his break now. The last couple have been pretty good.
Extension. Extension call. Yellow ball's in play.
Yellow on the right hand side is awkward. Is there a case for taking the yellow? Oh, he's going to take it now. This is a big shot. This is tough.
Ooh, I thought he was going to drop. I really did.
Yeah, I identified that it was going to be tough to get better on it, so just decided to go ahead and make it. So I can't fault that for a thought process. Similar earlier on, wasn't it, when he took on that double early. If you're going to take it on, do it early.
Extension call.
Last time he did that, though, Phil did come up with a fabulous clearance, but this time it looks even harder. It doesn't even have a starter.
Loss of turn.
Loss of turn for Phil. Just trying to carve himself just the slightest chance of nicking the frame. Does Jimmy go for? Does he go for broke here?
This time the double lands. He is on the gap to the yellow bottom right, but this is still tough.
Extremely tough. We can just get through to the yellow over the middle bag. Could he pot that deep screw straight back into the bottom cushion and over for the yellow on the side rail? Or is he just going to play some... What? I'm not sure containing shot here is value.
There is no value.
No. It's going to... Oh,
Oh.
he was late.
Wow.
Very, very late. And that, well, he just couldn't make his mind up what to do.
Yeah, that will be reviewed, but I think it's just...
That was half an hour after. That doesn't need a review.
Yeah, I don't think this one does. Jimmy knows, and it's not the best of shots, really.
Yeah.
Now it should be an easy loss of turn.
He didn't just miss. He didn't just miss his flight there, did he? He didn't
Yeah.
even get to the airport. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's not a surprise to hear that the referee's soft signal is that this was a foul. So it is being reviewed right now. So Phil will get cue ball in hand because this is what we call a foul, and I imagine what, loss of turn maybe. Order of the day, get another snooker.
For being that late, you should be disqualified from the tournament.
Dr. Frame. Get put on the clock.
Poor Jimmy, he'll forgive me for poking a little bit of fun at him. He is the Joker.
He looks surprised.
You didn't, did you?
No, he surely not.
You're about 5 seconds over, Jimmy. Everyone else is playing on a 30-second shot clock. Jimmy's on a 35.
Well,
It looks like he is playing the loss of turn, but this isn't the one I thought he'd used to do it with,
no.
because he's now left a bottom cushion and hit into this. He might have even left a double, the way that Jimmy's looking.
Yeah, it would have been my choice.
I thought he was going to go the other way around, play the higher one, and then the red he just played was his blocker, stopping the bottom cushion and the side.
Yeah, I'm with you. Jimmy has a little launch at it. It's not really done much.
Yeah. So we did get the snooker, which was the important thing. And I guess he gets the opportunity, but may not have a nice easy. This has actually come out okay for Jimmy, unless there's an easy ball to right centre. Hard to tell from here. Oh, he's getting down on it happily enough. So.
Well, even the plant wouldn't be that difficult shot to play, and I think he probably will play the plant. She does.
It's gone wrong though.
Yeah, he didn't want that one stuck to the other red.
This is messy. This is tricky.
Extension of
Well, he went to move them. Slaps his leg. Now he's looking to see if he can cut this in and bring the other red out, but it's going to double kiss the second red. Well, he's done it, but
Jimmy wasn't expecting it. Jimmy was he picked up his cue, ready to get out of the chair and play.
yeah. What about the thin cut now into the middle and try and dig down on the cue ball and send it into that red on the rail?
Do you need to though?
I don't know, but it looked nice.
Agreed.
No, maybe you don't. I'm trying to sort of think what Phil would do. And that's what he tried to do. I just thought the opportunity was there to move it, and I don't know, it's hard to look a gift horse in the mouth. But then he didn't quite do it, did he?
I just thought the way he was set up that he would just try and play on it.
Didn't want that collision with the black ball.
My word. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, this time you've got every reason to look away and discuss Phil.
Yeah, rubber the brow now. What does he do here? Because you have to look, whatever he does, the safest place you can actually put that, I think, is just on the top rail.
I don't think you can get safe here. You're going to leave a shot.
Yeah, top rail. That's a long shot. That's not even, well, didn't even get it up there.
He's left him a nice angle as
Yeah,
well.
you needed to leave him cushed up.
Yeah.
And playing away from the black, so left-hand side of the table sort of thing.
Agreed.
Jimmy.
So he didn't have the right angle, and I thought he had a little angle to be able to get behind the 8 ball. He didn't. But looks like he's got away with it.
Now then, for me, off the top rail, play into both those reds, so like the plant, and it'll hit the black ball, and maybe down towards and cover that bag where the yellow is. Surely he can't cut that in from there, can he? Well, that's a fabulous shot.
Oh, what a shot that is.
Yeah, that's better than my shot.
That is incredibly good.
Not hitting it, it's going to be a foul. Cue ball in hand.
Looking back at the way this frame's gone, it's actually quite a big surprise to see Jimmy miss that yellow to bottom corner from once Phil gave it, because he had a hand on the table. I'm really surprised he missed it. Whether he would have got the 8 ball or not, we'll never know, but Phil's responded with an excellent snooker, and now cue ball in hand.
Feels like quite a big frame, this. I don't know why. It's the first little break free from somebody getting too clear, and it depends now how Jimmy responds, because he has had a little chance there. A scrappy little end to the frame. It's not had the cut and thrust of the previous 2 matches, but it is the farmer. that now takes a 2-frame lead.
It's the first time we've seen a player get 2 in front.
Yeah, just a little break free.
A little glimmer. He's only reached the halfway point though, hasn't he? So there's a long way to go.
Yeah, I just felt like quite a
I'm with you.
pivotal frame there. Just when we look back, I think.
Yeah, and I think we may have reached the halfway point in terms of he's just got to 6, race to 12, but we have 27 minutes left in this match. We're well past the halfway mark on the match clock. We've had 3 frames now, like the one we've just seen, that have been drawn out, and it's really hurt the clock. I do think the match clock will have a big factor here.
I do as well, and I think if someone's going to actually get to 12 frames, I think they're going to have to get a whole bunch of them in a row. So if it continues in this vein, it's not going to be 12, like you say. It's going to...
Yeah, essentially we're playing a timed match here rather than a race to something.
Yeah. So if you're Phil now, you sort of kind of look at that clock and think, right, if I can get myself 3 or 4 in front and just sit there, just watch the clock ebb away. Yeah, Phil can't believe he hasn't got a ball off that break.
And actually, this is a really good layout for Jimmy. I think first glance was red, so I think yellow's just a routine here. I think he can top across, take the one in the middle, top across, and get rid of the only one that looks like it's a problem straight away.
Yeah, I like yellows.
The yellow below the red goes right centre, and you can get there.
Yeah, get there off this ball now. No, Jimmy.
Poor miss. He was worried about running too far, trying to kill it in, drag it in. First shot could have done with an extra couple of turns on it just to make him straighter, to make that less of a threat. But last thing you want to do is miss that one.
I think Phil smells blood.
Yeah.
He can pot this red into the bottom right-hand corner, play the combo after that, and he can get out here. He's just looking where he wants the cue ball to make this. So he wants to try and play that combo and get on the red into the centre. Right, there you go. See, now he's left that little angle. Now he'll either play to get on in the centre, or he might even try and move it. But this is now red onto yellow, red following in behind. We've already seen him play one of these, pretty much a trickier one. So this one's a little bit easier than the last time he played it. In it goes.
Did he miss his cannon though? Do you think he was playing the half ball, the yellow at the same time?
Yeah, definitely. He's trying to move that. Still okay. I mean, it could have been bad if he hit the yellow football. He could have snooked himself on all 5 reds. So, it's not a complete disaster where he is. Now he's going to pop the red into the middle, the one that's stuck to the other red, and he could leave himself a little angle, go across to the other red into the left-hand centre, and then maybe move it. Oh, he's moving now. It didn't look like he had the angle. I think he's a little bit thick to come off this. I think he should pot this one in the air. I do. Oh, don't like that shot. He's played that way too quick. Why did he kick into the other red? He could have pot that one, stopped dead, left the angle with going into the other middle, kicked the 2 apart.
Slightly strange choices going on out there. Almost a bit frantic, a bit rushed, you'd say.
Well, he can still take this red into the middle. It's now a very thin cut, but I think he has to go. Has to go with that one that's stuck next to the yellow. Once again, he's getting himself in trouble with the clock. And it all seems very rushed there from Phil Harrison. And, well, not great as he chastises himself. Jimmy Croxton now with another opportunity. It has developed into a little bit of a scrappy affair now, this match. I think if you're Tom Jones or Declan Brennan looking on at this, based on last night's form, you'd be kind of licking your lips thinking, if I can beat, you know, if you're Tom or Declan, if you could win that quarter-final, which is coming up next, you feel you have a real chance of the final if these two play how they are at the moment. I'm not saying they're playing badly, but, you know, this is the deep end of a major professional event. You'd like to be firing on all cylinders at this point.
Oh, just gone awkward.
Yeah, he should still be able to make this cut.
I think he's looking at the double, isn't he? Yeah, he's looking at the double.
Is he?
Or is he? Yeah, he
No,
is.
he is. Nope. Not today,
He's
or
not-
any day of the week.
He's not had a very good success rate on the double so far today.
Well, nothing easy for Harrison. Where does he go? Does he dare play that red down the rail? Knock it in and you win the frame. He's going to go for it. Hold on to your hats. Oh, Jimmy Croxton's going to be gutted. That'll really make the heart sink if you're sat in the chair watching that go in. Now he cuts the red into the bottom right. Cue ball naturally comes out for the red into the bottom left. And Phil Harrison is going to pick Jimmy Croxton's pocket. When I said the last one was a big frame, I think this one really, really is. This is a heartbreaker for Jimmy Croxton.
Yeah, separates even further, doesn't it? Especially as this was a Phil Harrison break, it would have been one to steal for Jimmy Croxton, but it's not. It's gone against him.
Well, Harrison was flapping away at the end of that frame. You know, he's getting in trouble with the clock, and it all looked very rushed. You know, and I think he made the wrong decision a couple of times around those reds, and he's just been handed a lifeline. Okay, he's potted an extremely good red down that rail. And there we are, it's now 7-4 in front.
Yeah, both players have walked away from the arena. I don't blame Jimmy as one bit here. He's just going to go and reset himself. And what he's got to tell himself here is, Phil's not. It's not as though Phil's playing well. You know, Phil's not firing here. This isn't Phil Harrison at his best. He's kind of just surviving a little bit better than Jimmy is right now. Jimmy just needs to find the form that got him in the quarterfinals. His last couple of breaks have been excellent, and just kind of try and get that momentum going forward and get going. You know, 3 frames with 20 minutes to go. You know, Phil's a long way from victory here, so try and spin the positive. From Phil, you know, he's just got to probably the same, really. Forget about the scoreline. Just say to himself, "Hang on a minute, I'm in front here. Try and find my game." Jimmy's not all you know, firing all on here, so get a couple more in front and hang on.
Yeah, indeed.
Just looking at the rankings whilst the back end of that frame was finishing off, and Tom Cousins is a insane amount ahead of anybody else right now. If he goes on to win the tournament, he's going to end up about 25,000 ranking points ahead of Stevie Dempsey in second place. 25,000 ranking points on a one-year list would be good enough for top 3 or 4 in the rankings. I think
It's crazy.
there's going to be 3 or 4 players that have won more than 25,000 ranking points this year. So it just shows he's almost a year ahead of anybody else on rankings.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
It's a crazy number.
Yeah. Other thing to note on the rankings, if Declan was to go on and win the tournament, he'd go to number 2 behind Tom Cousins. He'd leapfrog Stevie Dempsey and Chris Melling. Phil Harrison is in the mix as well. He's currently in 6th place. He could edge himself up a few more spots with victory. Get himself up to... I don't think he can quite get to 2nd. He can get to 3rd, though, with victory in the tournament. Right now, Jimmy Croxton's way down thanks to a very quiet year and obviously missing a few tournaments. He's down in 37th. He'd need to go on and win the tournament to get himself...
36th.
If he went on to win the tournament, actually, because it's quite bunched, he couldn't quite get himself top 16, but certainly well inside the top 32, which is a good place to be for seedings and whatnot for next year's tournaments.
Well, Jimmy's re-emerged.
Jimmy, the first one back. Mind games. Phil making him wait. Yeah, as it stands right now, Tom Cousins 61,750, Stevie Dempsey 43,200. Tom Cousins could add an extra 4,000 on top of that. Chris Melling's in 3rd, Declan 4th, Craig Waddingham in 5th, and Phil Harrison in 6th. Jack Whelan, who's walking away to go and focus on China, in 7th. Sean Chipperfield in 8th. That is your current top 8. Squared up the front ball again. That's good from Jimmy. His break's improved as the match has gone on. Really good chance this for Jimmy. Needs this big visit from here. Get one. Get going again. He's come further down the table than I thought he would. I thought he'd try and take both the balls to top left straight away, then come down.
Yeah, I don't like leaving him too late under there. That's for sure. We're at the point now, if he's not on that red in the middle, he's going to have to pot the other one and play the plant. There's no other way he can go.
Yeah, he's got himself in a little bit of a mess here.
Yeah, it's quite a distance between the two reds as well when you're playing that plant. It's easy to draw that. Now looking at Phil's yellows, I'm now presuming he's going to pot this and then miss the plant now. But I'm just looking at the chance that Phil will have, and you think, well, okay. I still don't see how. I think he's gone the wrong way.
Yeah,
I really do.
I agree completely. The ball, if he can get through to the one nearest the pocket, this was the one he should have taken 3rd.
Oh, that's a fabulous pot. He's given himself half a chance here now. There, he's going to have to play this one down into the bottom left-hand corner and run the cue ball through. Now, how far has he got to get that cue ball down the table? I don't think he has to get it quite to the jaw or the knuckle of that pocket, but he wants to be a fair way down, and he's missed a pot. Can Harrison get through to the yellow at the top?
Right, Well, he made a meal of that finish to Jimmy and paid the price in the end.
Really tough though for Phil here. But Jimmy wouldn't want Harrison to have a chance. So he uses his extension. So you're having to bend a little bit round for this. Oh, it's a good effort, but I think Jimmy can get through just to clip this red over the back.
Jimmy was very fortunate when
he's not attempting
when he
it.
missed.
Trouble with those over the back like that, you don't know how the keyboard's going to react off of the knuckles, so I think he's cut plant.
Oh, he's had another touch of fortune.
He has. He's had some help from the black there. That was missing.
2 shots on the trot where Jimmy Croxton's got very fortunate.
Jammy Croxton.
Jammy Croxton. Strangely, Phil's not laughing at that joke, Tony.
No, he wouldn't.
Well, he's turned it into victory, but 2 very fortunate shots for Jimmy Croxton. But he has got the frame on the board. He is back within a couple. 16-10 still to go. Neither player is going to get to 12. This is all about that match clock. Phil finds a break and puts together a finish. He can forget about the miss there, and I mean, he didn't really do too much wrong. He was left a horrible situation, and he didn't quite deliver a big shot, but he's still 2 in front.
Try for Phil. The old cut break. Not coming off there for Phil Harrison.
Red furthest up the table. That's the problem here. The rest are all no problem at all. How and when is he going to deal with that one?
Yeah, I'm not sure what his plan is for that. Looking at it, it's not a ball you're going to try and get onto. It's more a ball that needs to be moved.
Just wondering if he's got an angle to get onto it into... No, he was the wrong side of straight. I was thinking if he was just the other side of straight, could you top forward and maybe have it left centre? Well, there's not much room to play for it, is there?
Well, he's going to have to attack it right now. And I think exactly what you were looking at is dropping that gap, which I think is not particularly easy with this shot.
Oh, beautiful. What a shot from Jimmy.
Hell of a shot.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to do, by the way. Float past the yellow, full ball, knock it on, leave this.
That's an absolutely fabulous shot from Jimmy Croxton. Nothing jammy about that one.
No. No, he had a touch of fortune in the last, not this time. That was excellent. Fully deserves the frame he's about to win. And he's going to go back within one and back on the break as well. This match has all of a sudden got very interesting.
Yeah, it's been on the simmer for a while, but it's now coming to maybe a boiling climax.
Yeah, beautiful shot from Jimmy Croxton. And yeah, I think we are actually ticking towards that climax now.
7-6 to the farmer.
Croxton's break. 7 frames to 6.
Best break he's hit in the match. He started off with 3 terrible breaks. Since then, it is really ramped up. This is excellent.
Extension ball.
Final red coming across the table to the left-hand side just makes the mess of the yellows on the left-hand side. So this isn't a particularly nice layout for him.
Yeah, it just looked like the wheels were coming off when he went 7-4 down. And he dodged a bullet in the next frame, but he's going to pull out a fabulous finish to make it 7-6. But it's going to be tricky to get out from here. He can clip the yellow up into the top left-hand corner. Sorry, the red into the top. What am I on about? I'm on. Yeah, I'll correct myself again. I've had a moment. I've had a moment. Lost the plot there for a minute.
Yeah, and that the problem is we and myself and all the viewers know that you're never wrong, and therefore it gets very tricky for us. Didn't quite happen for Jimmy on the first shot, so just pulls back. And these reds are not nice. And it's really hard to find a good hiding place here for Phil. He's in a spot of bother here.
Yeah, agreed. I'll come back to my original thing. Well, I think you can switch colours halfway through the frame.
That would be handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, you had to develop those reds.
Yeah, not bad at all, because it's made a mess of one yellow. He's added work, and he didn't want to move the red he was nearest to, because that's doing some good work for Phil for the yellow on the break line. So now there's 2 bad balls and 1 on the cushion. This is far from a good chance for Jimmy all of a sudden.
I'll tell you what's going to be interesting. We're going to get into the old 15 seconds a shot. Now, we've already seen Jimmy time foul once in this, and we've seen Harrison running very close to the wind as well with the clock. So this could be pivotal in this match.
Gone for the treble. Off the red. How about that? Great shot from Jimmy.
Wow.
And the yellow up the cushion is a big pocket, and he can use that to potentially get on the one on the break line. So that was a fabulous treble. Straight is good. Yeah, he's straight enough, I think. Just top forward 2 or 3 rolls. Oh, just had too much angle, didn't he? I was saying straight was good, straight was perfect, and he just had that turn too much.
Shot clock now in play.
I think Phil might have to risk bottom cushion into the cluster of 3. Just got to make sure something hits the cushion. Something needs to hit a cushion.
Oh no. No.
Wow, that's really the pace he played it at. That to not hit a cushion. That is really. That feels unlucky to me.
Yep, ball in hand. Phil was there hoping desperately for that red to strike the rail.
The only thing I would say is he went into that 2 cushions rather than 1. If he goes in 1 cushion, you feel something has to hit.
Jimmy took on the long yellow. There was a way easier shot on the table there for me.
Yeah. It's all happening. Mind you, we're at 15 seconds of shots. That's why it's all happening quickly all of a sudden.
I thought he'd put to the left of it, just potted it in the top right.
This is a big shot for Phil, and he's got it absolutely spot on.
Oh, that's a great shot. All those reds are in the way as well, trying to come up, and going to have to go for 2 jaws, I feel, up in the top right. Jaw and across the top rail. Oh. Top spin he had on that, which killed the white.
Time running.
Needed to really, when he played that, sort of slightly strike down on the cue ball. It would have jumped a little bit, but it would have gotten nearer to the ball.
Well, Phil's going to end up in time trouble here.
No.
I think he was okay.
Do you?
I think he was fine, yeah. Referee's okay. He's not even going to look at it. Oh, my word.
The clock's...
Oh, my word.
The clock is now...
It's completely got Phil. And Phil, the referee might give Jimmy an extra second here, because Phil didn't get out the way. Now Jimmy's going to play it in time anyway.
He's going to let near the cush. Just made that ball a lot harder, this black now. Oh, he's played it well, Jimmy. Look at the fist. He played it before the beeps came. Get down, hit it. And Phil Harrison, well, you can see Phil's reaction to that.
Oh dear,
Have
Jimmy.
some of that.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy. Yeah.
This is some of Jimmy's great shots. This is the treble.
Well,
That was a lot. That felt like a lifetime ago. In all honesty, there's so much happening in that frame, and well, I think it's fair to say.
In a row, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Phil's going to struggle here at the 15 seconds. That looked frantic.
He's been struggling a couple of times at the whole 45.
That's because he's playing on a 30-second
No,
shot.
it's 31 mile about. No, I've lost my mind.
Yeah, that's well, we've got a whole fresh new match here. Forget about everything that's gone. These final few minutes are going to be very entertaining and pressure filled. 7:29 left, 7-7. Forget about that number 12. Get yourself in front and hang on.
Well, Phil was 7-4 in front. Makes a ball with his cut break. Cue below at the bottom of the table. And the Reds come down to lend him a helping hand.
Two Reds together, slightly tricky. That's the problem.
Phil's favourite tune there, just about to start playing again.
He thinks he can pop the higher one into the middle, which opens up the lower one. And if he's on that, then everything else goes.
Wait for this one, he's going to be running again.
Yeah.
Sort of forgets because he played one quite quickly the shot before and he didn't get to the beeps, he's sort of like, oh, that's all right, it's not happening anymore then.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around for 4 years. You'd think he's got used to it by now, but he absolutely hasn't.
Still, he's at the table. He's not missed anything. Every shot huge, and he doesn't want that.
That's gone right. That red went to the corner and the middle.
Yeah.
And, well, it doesn't anymore.
Double across and plant it. I thought he might play the double into the yellow and the red. Try and clip the plant in there. I know it's a desperate shot, but I think at this time it calls for some desperate measures.
Yeah, once he dealt with the first shot, you just felt that he was going to get out there. Hasn't.
Do you make Jimmy the favourite now?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Going for the younger man with the clock on full throttle. And
well, just quite simply, he's dealing with the 15 seconds a shot better, and he's riding the momentum of 3 straight, isn't he?
Yep. Would you lost a turn here if you can get through? Or if you can't get through, you put the yellow at the bottom of the table and come up and do the loss of turn.
We're under 5 minutes to go here. This one's going to take a little bit of working out, the way these are.
I just think the loss of turn that he could have put the yellow down here, Jimmy, gone up there, played the loss of turn, left Phil in all sorts of trouble trying to hit that red. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, agreed.
Now Phil's going to develop it a bit.
Yeah, does he play the loss of turn now?
Well, yeah, but now Phil's probably going to be able to see this, and he could maybe manufacture a shot somewhere.
Yep.
That's a good shot from Jimmy. Very, very good shot. Great cue ball.
Oh, fabulous.
I'm still not excusing him for not playing it earlier.
I'll remind him of that later.
I will.
Under 4 minutes to play.
Foul.
Oh, he's put another yellow in the mix here. See, this is a problem. He gets cue ball in hand, but he's got a real problem on the table still.
Time running.
He's going to lay another snooker.
Yeah, why not?
Well, at some point he's got to try and win the frame, though. This is a good thing, though. It pops a yellow into a position where he can then play the breakout. So if he gets ball in hand again, then he might go. But he doesn't get ball in hand.
Got to lay another snooker.
No, he's going.
Well, I wish him all the best. I wouldn't be going and I'll go at the drop of a hat. I know you can get onto that yellow at the top and kick those 2 yellows out, but I think one of them, where that red is, I think one of those yellows will stay stuck there on the rail.
And he's left full sight of the
But I won't
the
be
red.
doing that either.
What can Phil do with it?
Wallop
Red
it.
off yellow, or can
Yeah.
he get the long double? Red off yellow by the looks of things.
Yeah, dig the cue ball down. He needs to dig into this to try and force that angle. It's close. Oh.
Well, that was dangerous from Jimmy Croxton. Now he has an opportunity. 2.5 minutes to play. 1 on the cushion he's got to work his way round to.
I think he might lay the snooker. He's gone to move it. Ooh.
Yeah, not great.
No.
Not great at all. Not sure that really helps. It's all
Makes no difference.
makes no difference. It's all in his own hands, really.
Top and right hand side to get right behind that yellow. And he is just got to dribble this up into the top corner. And it's going to be about 1 minute 20 odd left should Jimmy pot this and the black to go in front.
Extension call.
Yeah, I think the right thing is running the clock down here. Run it down as far as you can, simply because he has the next break. If he makes a ball, he wins the frame. But if he breaks dry, he's really forcing Phil to have to come up with an ultra quick clearance. So this is absolutely the right thing to do.
Now I'd get down. I wouldn't bother just getting down on the beats for the extra 2 seconds. I want plenty of time to make sure.
Jimmy Croxton in front with 57 seconds left in the match.
And it's Jimmy to break.
It's Jimmy to break. If he makes a ball, he wins the match.
If he doesn't, well, ball's still rolling around the table. That's going to take up 7 seconds, you feel, roughly. So there's 48, 49 seconds for Phil to finish.
I'd get your cue chalked, Phil. Be ready.
Yeah, you're not stand up there.
Yeah. What a turnaround, though. Is that 4 straight frames for Jimmy Croxton to get himself in front? And you feel like every frame's been a match. You feel like every frame has been an event.
I made the point and said it was pivotal when he went 7-4. I said it was that, for me, that was him. He just fell off a cliff.
Yeah. Phil's really struggled since that moment.
Absolutely.
16 frames. Jimmy Croxton's break. Making 8 frames to 7.
We were always going to get one of these matches in these quarterfinals. And if you had to pick one, you would probably pick this one as well, wouldn't you?
Agreed.
I don't think the next quarterfinal's going to have quite the same approach.
57 seconds. Makes a ball. He can control himself and run the clock down. Not the cue ball, though.
He has.
Phil's going to have time. He's going to have the chance. Yellows are good here. Yellows are on.
Time running.
There is a chance. 48.
Yellow balls in play.
There's nothing to think. Just get on the one on the right-hand side, and there is nothing to think about. This is so doable.
It is. Incredible stuff. Jimmy must be absolutely gutted.
Can he get across now? Has he got enough angle to get on the one on the right cushion? No, he's going to come across on this one. This is the shot that can go wrong if he can screw it straight back.
Yeah, he's going to waste a few seconds coming back here, though.
That's perfect.
It's going to be close. Oh, I don't think he's going to do it. Oh, it took too long. Took too long over that. He had to fire it. Oh, Phil.
Can you believe it? He just runs out of time from perfect position. The 8 ball ends up on the floor. And he's going to tell Jimmy he's lost the clock. He lost the clock out there and just took too long. Jimmy Croxton survives a scare. He turns the match around, 4 straight frames at the end, and hangs on just